Howdy, howdy. So I show I am on there. I wasn't sure that's my second time of clicking the button. So yep, I went live that time. So man, crazy. Crazy, crazy. I don't even know what to think, to be quite honest. Um I'm getting increasingly nervous as Tuesday rolls around. 'Cause man, I don't see a lot of good directions, regardless of whichever way that this goes. I just don't see. I don't see either side just sitting idly by, and that is what concerns me. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, um, it's just it's one of those things that I don't look forward to seeing it, but at the same time, there's a level of acceptance inside of me because I understand that it's going to come to a point, okay? And of course, I can only take the angle or the side that it is that I fall on, and same goes for anybody else. But when I look at it from my view looking out, and I don't want to put a political party on my view or anything like that because I really don't fit any political party very well. But when I look out, this is what I see, and I think the same thing falls true for a lot of individuals. There are only so many times, right, you'll tell somebody to stop. It's only so many times. Howdy, Leo. What's up, brother? I hear you. I almost forgot about the show tonight, man. I was like, it was right at about an hour till, and I'm like, oh shit, it's Sunday. So I threw together a thumbnail and I'm here. So may not make it a full hour tonight. I got to put up Blues Food yet. Been doing a lot of stuff since since I quit doing the show on a regular basis, and we make all of Blues dog food now. We make all of her treats. We switched up our diet a little bit. Well, not because we wanted to switch our diet up, but have you seen the price of groceries? So I realized real quick that those nice frozen cut French fries from Walmart aren't worth it when you can just buy potatoes and cut them up yourself. And so I've been making all of our mashed potatoes from scratch and making our hand cut French fries, and so we changed up a little bit simply because it's the only way we could make ends meet was to just do it the old school ways. So, and then today I made a banana bread, made a small loaf of banana bread, made a loaf of cinnamon bread yesterday, I think it was. I think it was yesterday I made that. Could have been the day before. I don't remember. Yes, yesterday. Yesterday. So anyway, friend of mine, I mentioned that I'd kind of had my eye out for a bread machine, and so she ran across one and nabbed it for me, and so I've been putting it to use. It's nice having homemade bread, and that way I don't have to sit there and deal with kneading it and all kinds of other nonsense. I throw the ingredients in the thing and push the button, and it's good to go. And works spectacular. It's an older one. I think it's a West Bend. It's an older one. Works great though. works wonderful. So I've been doing that. Like I say, I've been making anything related to potatoes I make now from actual just regular potatoes. Making all of Blue's dog food. She has always dealt with like allergies and itching and stuff. And so I heard it, I don't know how many times, that, get her away from, store-bought dog food, get her away from or at least the grains, the grain dog food, the cheaper pedigree, Old Roy, stuff like that. Well, we sure the hell can't afford to buy Blue Diamond or whatever for her, because that stuff's like stupid high. And, I mean, if we could afford it, we'd get it, but we can't. So I decided, well, I'm going to start making her dog food myself. And started doing that. It didn't cure the itching and the allergies and stuff like that, like I had hoped. But she, as far as her physique, is much better. I mean, she was getting to be a pretty chubby dog. She was kind of chubby, and labs aren't supposed to be that chubby. And so, but now she's got a nice physique now. So she's definitely not overweight. She's definitely not thin either. But you can tell her muscle tone and everything else is really doing well. So, but anyway, so a few things, the way we've done things have changed up since I stopped doing the show. Not a lot though. I mean, I never stopped looking into the news and the different things going on, and I didn't intend to. I've been doing this for a long time, much longer before I had a YouTube channel. So I just pay attention, as much attention as I can to as many important things as I can. That's why I've always pushed away sports and pushed away TV shows and all of that stuff, because they're distractions, and I don't want to get caught up in the distractions. So, but anyway, man, as I was saying a while ago, I think that the issue's going to come to look, because like I said, people will only say something so many times before that's it. They've had it. If somebody tells you to stop doing something, you do not have the right, for whatever frickin' idea you get in your head, you don't have the right to keep doing it. And that's the situation that we are in on both sides of this, right? Let me jump on the left side just real quick, and Roe versus Wade. There's a lot of women and men that support them out there that, this is the final straw for them. That's it, That's their mindset. And likewise, you're going to have people on the right that they're going to have certain things that they're not willing to budge on. And I think that this nation is coming to a head on many different subjects that people feel very similar to that about. So that's what's got me apprehensive, because I see issue regardless of who walks away the winner on Tuesday. Well, probably won't be Tuesday, we all know that. But I hope, we can hope, that's all we can do. Man, I am not looking forward to this. I have zero faith in our voting system at this point. Zero faith. I hope Trump gets in. That's obvious. But I hope that Trump gets in, and I hope that there is something that is done with the voting system. And I hope that there are some federal laws that get put into place involving voting. Because some of this nonsense, and I am somebody that's all for states' rights. I am big on states' rights. But when it comes to voting, you can't have 50 states doing 50 different things for the same election. You can't do that. It makes no damn sense. Now, I think maybe states should be allowed to decide what happens within their own state voting and down, state, county, municipality level. I think that they should be let free to do how they see fit. But any involvement, I think, in a federal election, I think should have to follow particular federal election rules, right? And, I think things like mail-in voting, I think should follow the same thing around the whole abortion thing. Safe, legal, and rare, right? I think that, there are some people that would be disenfranchised if they couldn't participate in mail-in voting. No question about it. You've got people who are disabled, you got elderly, you've got, of course, the military overseas. So you do have instances to where something like mail-in voting is warranted. But it's not something that just anybody should be able to do. No way. This is nonsense that just anybody can, I guess you request for a ballot and then you fill it out and then you put it in your local mailbox. I honestly don't know if I could just stick it in my mailbox here or if I have to go drop it off at the official mailbox uptown. I don't know how that works out. I don't know if you can just put it out in your regular mail or not. But I see a whole bunch of room for problems with the mail-in voting stuff. And I am not hip about how they've got their voting machine stuff set up, like the Dominion machines and stuff. Man, and I've heard too many people, too many elections say, and believe me, I push back on conspiracy theories, man, because you've got so many frickin' liars out there. I push back on conspiracy theories, but I've heard it enough times about voting machines changing who it is that somebody's voted for. I have a hard time saying, I think people are making it up, because it sounds like it happens a fair amount. I don't know. I still like my idea, and of course I'm biased because it's my idea, but I'm the first to say that, there's probably 1,000 better ideas than mine. I want to hear them. I want to hear them. It's not about me. It's about fixing the problem. My idea is putting the election on the blockchain. Putting it on the blockchain. As an American citizen, you have a social security number. You already have an ID number that identifies you. Why can't that social security number be associated with a government account, online account, in which you could vote, in which the vote should be stored on the blockchain so that it couldn't be screwed with, and anybody could go at any time, and log in and go look at their voting record, their voting history, to make sure nothing's changed. And again, I'm not saying it's the best idea. There's probably 1,000 better. I want to hear them. But I am looking for something that would, for one, make somebody have to ID. Right? If you had to log in, you're IDing. Also, if it's on their system, if your voter ID, is, so to speak, was the same as your social security number, you wouldn't have the problem of getting 5 chances to vote. You know what I mean? That would be eliminated too. I think, and again, I just haven't heard anything better yet. I think putting the election on the blockchain is probably the safest way to do it. And I think that having the capability to go in and check at any time to make sure your votes are in the direction that you made them, I think is awesome. To my knowledge, once something is on the blockchain, it's there. And as far as one person being able to alter that, I don't think it's... if it involves a computer and scripts, anything is possible. For every program, there's always going to be a hack. There's no way around that. It is what it is. But it is extremely hard for a single person to be able to have an effect like that on the blockchain. I cannot tell you impossible, because that's a lie. It's scripting. It's possible. But the level that it would take to do that, man, that's crazy. Because, and I don't know everything about the blockchain, but I know enough about it to know that there are in total tons of different copies of the same thing spread throughout its network. So you would have to have the ability to change all of it at once. Because if you didn't, then the error is going to show up. And I don't know how their code's written, but I'm sure their code's probably written that if you've got a cluster here with just a little bit of something that's not right, I am sure their system will rewrite that cluster to get it right. Kind of like, I don't know, like a RAID file system would for backup on a computer. That's what I see. When I see blockchain, that's what I see. I see like this big network, like a big, huge global RAID. That's what I see. Anyway. I guess all we can do is wait. Kind of sucks. I wish there were polls that we could follow that even remotely tried. I don't know if any of them actually try or not. There may be some that do make an honest effort, but how do you know? And then even that doesn't say nothing, you know? I know that I read some article or something, there was a survey, and I forget the amount of people that it claimed. lied about who they voted for. I almost want to say the thing said something like a third of the people lied about who they voted for, which I find to be absolute rubbish. I don't think that many people lie about who they vote for. Are there some people that lie about who they vote for? Oh, definitely. Definitely. And that's why voting is done the way it's done, right? You don't go in a voting booth with 4 other people. You go in there by yourself. You are in there by yourself for that reason. And I think it's great. I think it's great. You know, I don't think that anybody should have to vote a particular way because of fear of threat of force, right? And so that's why I love the way that we have our system set up. And that's kind of that's the only downfall. My idea that I say about putting the vote on the blockchain and stuff, that's the only downfall I see of it, because one thing about our votes is they're supposed to be anonymous, right? And the reason why is that prevents the government from going after, political opponents, or the people that voted for their political opponents. You know what I mean? Could you imagine a horror story here, Kamala winning and them being able to pull up? I mean, they already can pull up who all the registered Republican voters are, right? They can already pull that up. But could you imagine if they could pull up the actual individual vote? And could you imagine if they started lining up those people who voted for Trump on trains? And so that's why I like the way that they had our system set up, but maybe we need to just go back to paper ballots. I don't know. And then there's so many games with that, like with the whole Bush thing and the hanging Chad and all that nonsense, I mean, there were people that were getting disenfranchised of their vote just because it's some bureaucratic technical bullshit that people couldn't accept the reality of it, right? Well, the Chad's still there, then it's not a vote or some crap like that. What do you mean? The hole clearly is punched for one name or another, but you just got this little hanging Chad, so you've got an issue with that? So, I don't know, man. That's why I think, though, when it comes to like the voting type, the voting system or whatever, I think that the federal government needs to set that, and I think all 50 states should have to follow that. Whether it's some type of paper punch card machine, whether it's a number 2 pencil and filling in the dot, whatever it is that is decided upon, I think that the federal government needs to make a decision, and I think that all 50 states should have to follow that. Other than that, I think states should be allowed to control a lot of the election stuff, but when it comes to the type of ballots and when it comes to rules like mail-in voting, deadlines and stuff like that, I think that should be a federally decided thing, and that's that. Because there is just way too much room for nonsense in our voting system, because there's too much that states are allowed to be able to decide upon themselves. And I am huge for states' rights. I am 100% states' rights. But sometimes, it's just like people. You got good people and bad people. You got good states, you've got bad states. You've got leadership in some states that really truly want to do the right thing. You got leadership in some states that I don't know what the hell's going on in their minds. But you got to find something that will be fair to all, but at the same time, something that doesn't leave room for a lot of games and nonsense. But I don't know. I'm just anxious to see what comes. I think I really don't have anything else. I mean, I'm certainly not going to sit here and pull up polls and talk about them and all that nonsense. That, like I say, it'd be nice if there was something. There's nothing. None of it we can trust. None of it's, I don't know. I know there's some they say, oh, they haven't been wrong since blah, blah, blah. And, yeah, but there is that time. I don't know. I mean, realistically, I know damn well who's going to walk away with it. Realistically. But now how it's going to shake out of their machine, that's yet to be seen. But I'm not a fool. I know the difference between thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people lined up screaming and cheering and everything you can do to fill a room. And it's really obvious. I think we got one other mess we got to clean up. And I don't know how to go about it. Because, man, powers that be sure like to use our own Achilles heel against us. Media. We got to figure something out with that. And what do you do? What do you do? I think maybe we need relook at the right to free speech. And when I say that, I don't mean that you, the average everyday man or woman, doesn't have a right to speak your opinion in any way, shape, or form. I'm talking about the media end of the First Amendment. I don't think that they should have immunity. And I don't see anywhere in the Constitution that grants them immunity. Just like I don't see anything that grants law enforcement or government immunity. There's nothing in there for that either. And I think that maybe there does need to be some laws put on the books about media that abuses their position and intentionally, because we know a lot of the stuff. You look at anything from Hunter's laptop, all of that nonsense that they knew was real, but yet they covered for them. I mean, I know that there are some that's looking into it. As far as I can tell, there's some that's looking into it right now as possibly being a form of election interference. That may be. We got to figure something out, though. Because when you have a situation like when Trump the other night was talking about Liz Cheney, he was making a statement in support of peace, right? He doesn't want anything to happen to Liz Cheney, but his thoughts are, and I've said this for a long time, His thoughts are, if she wants the war so bad, then she needs to go over there and fight it. And I've said that for a long damn time. That before anybody else should have to go and fight in battle, you should send the kids of these people sending the country there to battle first. Send their kids first. And you're going to see a lot more people want peace in our Congress. But as it stands, there's no repercussions. And these people know that. And it's the same with the media and just the Wild West that it is. There's no consequences. It's just a free-for-all. And there is no way that you can watch that clip of Trump speaking without it being edited. Just watch that segment and turn that around as a threat to Liz Cheney. And the media that's out there misreporting that, you can't tell me that they're just mentally deranged on a level that they don't see it. No, this is willful. This is intentional. And it's malicious. And I think that there should be something that can be done about that. Because there are a lot of people out there right now that are repeating that. And they're repeating that over and over and over. Talking about how horrible of a man he is. How dangerous he is. And he wants peace. The only president that I've ever known in my 52 years that wants peace. I don't know that Reagan wanted war, but I don't think he minded it too bad. Bush Sr., oh hell yeah, he wanted war. Clinton, he didn't mind war. Bush Jr., yep, all about it. Obama, right? Biden, all about it. The only president in my lifetime that I can say absolutely, without a doubt, did not want war was Donald Trump. And it is highly frustrating to sit there and watch every word. And I'm not a trumpet, if you will. I'm not, never have been that way. But I have watched the entire time and asking the question, what the hell? Everything the man says and does, they try to turn around somehow. And at some point, there needs to be accountability. And I think, that's what concerns me with this election, because a lot of us see the score. And let's not BS ourselves. People on both sides of the aisle see the score. You can't tell me that all blue team completely misses what's been going on. I think a lot of them just accept it because in their mind they're winning. And I think you have that on both sides, but I think it's really bad with blue team. There are a lot of things that blue team stands for that in order for you to stand for those things, you've already had to step down a few notches, if you will. sexual deviance. Right? How far do you have to step from same sex to child sex? Not a very big step, is it? Not once you've already broke that line of deviancy, if you will. And I'm the first to admit when I'm wrong about something. And years ago, when the whole same-sex marriage thing came up, Red Team was out there screaming loud that this is going to lead to, them trying to normalize and whatnot child sex. And I thought Red Team was out of their damn mind. I really did. They weren't. They weren't. And that's when I learned that man, once you're already sexually deviant, going further steps in that deviance is easy to do. Right? They always told you marijuana was the gateway drug, right? Which I don't believe for a second. I think the gateway quote-unquote drug is alcohol. But different story, different time. And either one could be used in this way. Well, hell, you've already smoked a joint, or hell, you've already drank a beer. I think the same is true with sexuality. And I didn't really understand that. And to be honest, I was a male hoe. So just being honest. And, I was deviant in that manner. Now that I've straightened my life up, I see the deviancy in my actions, and it makes their actions all that more deviant. So I feel a good understanding of that. Once you take that first step, taking other steps becomes easier. And so that's another one of those areas, by the way, that I was telling you that I think that on both sides of the aisle, I think there's a large number of people that, they've got their lines in the sand. And I don't think people are going to give up too easily on that. What about an a-hole? I have to revert back to what I said in high school. And this was an actual quote from me that they decided probably wouldn't be best to put in the yearbook. But this is the quote they got to put in the yearbook. They walked around and they asked random people, if you've got any advice for it's like your seniors, if you've got any advice for the freshmen or anybody else, what is it? My advice was, if there's no better hole than the asshole, leave it the hell alone. And so that was my advice. But it did not get printed. It did not make it in the yearbook. It should have. It's good advice. They didn't use it. Oh, man. Damn, I wished I could go back. I shared a picture in our local Highland group on Facebook because it's something that, I didn't hear nothing about. it. And let me show you the picture I shared. There. Because I didn't hear nothing about it this year. Nothing about. And I guess maybe the cost of toilet paper's up. Gotta give it that. But, it made me realize that, how much things have changed. And I posted in the community group and, of course, talked up Gen Xers. We were an unruly crowd, but I mean, okay, so the cost of toilet paper's up, for sure. I never did get involved in egging. I know some people did eggs, but on that note, the cost of eggs is through the roof. No, I never did egging. TP and soap. That's it. That's all I've ever done was TP and soap. I only did soap a couple of times, but did TP in several times. One of the times I went soaping, got caught by the teacher. Had to clean it up. So, it's a group of us. I don't remember it well enough to remember how it all went down about us getting caught. I mean, we got caught in the act, but I don't remember well enough to remember how it all shook out. I knew that we were cleaning it off our windows, though. Oh, my goodness. Crazy. A long time ago. It was a much better place then. And I blame the internet for a lot. That is something for sure. The internet, it's kind of hard to blame. It's like blaming, it's like when a liberal blames the gun for the madness that a person causes, right? It's the same thing, really. The internet's an inanimate object. It in and of itself didn't do anything, because it can't. It's just there. It just exists. It had to have evil people doing evil things. However, ever since we've had the internet, it's a tool. Things have gone downhill. And can't blame, and when I say this, I don't mean each and every one of us, but it's some of us. I mean, it's a shame. Really truly is. Be nice to go back to these days. The day I'm looking at that picture still. That sends me back. Those were some good times. The mindsets of the public were much better than what they are now. Now, these days, you might get shot going and TP in somebody's yard, Back in the day, typically about the worst thing that would happen if you get caught and have to go help clean up. That's about it. Anyway, I think I'm going to head off here and get to bed. I got to put Blue's food up yet. And, get to bed. Probably going to be going to bed with the air on tonight. It's warm enough. Just to make it just a little bit cooler than what it is. So, we had some kind of high power bills earlier in the summer because I iglooed it overnight and got carried away. So, oh man. Okay, will do. Lael said hi. She's just now shutting her computer down. Oh, actually, she restarted it by accident. Oh man. Anyway, I am gonna get out of here. I will be back tomorrow night, 8 p.m. And hopefully I'm a little bit more with it. I've been kind of, I don't know, just out of sorts today. So this election thing really is on my mind. More than I think it's ever been in my lifetime. So, anyway, I am going to get out of here. I hope you all have a good evening. Hope you had a good weekend. And God willing, we'll see you tomorrow night. We'll see if we have any more on any of the guessing. Anyway, I am out of here. I will talk to you all tomorrow night. Shalom.